Alright, what's up guys? It's my first video, so it might be a little chopped. But yeah, so today I only train biceps, and the reason for that is, like I said, today is Sunday. I'm not trying to go too crazy before I start the first week back into lifting. Right now I'm 146, looking a little soft, but it's alright. I'll get everything back bigger, stronger, all the above. And for my first exercise, what we're gonna do is barbell curls, free weighted, no fat grips, none of that. And the reason why I um do this exercise first is one, it's the best mass builder by far, by freaking far. Builds the best biceps. I used to do 135 for A like this, but I'm not 158 anymore. I'm not as cool, so I have to rebuild everything back from the ground up. What is on my hand? So I just pulled off some dry skin. Ow. Um, yeah, so I always try to just keep my torso as stable as possible, very, very little jerk motion. And I always try to prioritize the stretch, which I kind of did. You know what I mean? But biceps get pretty pumped from this. They also get a big beating. I only ever train biceps in the 4 to 6 set range. Arms don't really need all this crazy volume. They're very delicate muscles, in fact. So training these muscles in this set range and just going to failure in all sets helps a lot. That's how I build my arms in the past. Right now, they're not as big right now, but trust me, they'll get back to their former glory. And in fact, get so much better in their former glory. Um, if you guys hear the AC in the background, I apologize. It's really hot. It's like 98 degrees right now. Um, so now I'm doing 2 sets of hammer curls. I only did 1 set of barbell curls there. Today's my first day back into lifting. It's been like 2 to 3 weeks. My dog just passed away, so I'm not really all up there right now. But I'm doing what I can. I was 155 before, but I lost like 9 pounds. But oh well, it's all water weight and stuff. Ow. So now I move on to the dumbbell preacher curl. So I only do 1 set of this for each arm, and I'm using with 35s. I did like I think 8 to 10 reps with it. I don't remember, but it was all the failure. Yeah, the physique is kind of it's okay. It's solid. It's just this is my starting point, so it's what I'm going to be working with for a while, and I just have to move on, get better. You know, I don't really see anybody. I mean, like everybody be doing these crazy bicep like workouts, but it's like you don't really gotta do all that. You really don't. You just gotta train 3 simple exercises, 4 to 6 sets. And actually, as a matter of fact, there's been a lot of people on Instagram popularizing this 4 to 6 set thing. I'm like, oh, people are falling on board with it. So I train arms usually twice a week. With like any other muscle group, twice a week is pretty good. 3 times is just kind of pushing it. And yeah, that's about it, guys. So this was the bicep workout, and now for the outside pep talk.
Okay. Sorry guys, I'm looking a little rough right now. What's up YouTube? Right. So today I only did biceps only, very low volume, four working sets today, all till failure. Did 3 basic movements: barbell curl, dumbbell hammer curl, and dumbbell like single arm preacher curls, with the bench really elevated, not that I don't know whatever degree it is, 135 degree angle, whatever that people like to use. Like, no, you gotta raise the bench as high as physically possible, but not a right angle. It should be like 95 degrees or something like that. Whatever. There should be a slight diagonal curve to it, but honestly, as straight as possible. So that's what I did with my bench. I put it as high as I could, and that's what you do. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, this is my first lifting video, so it's gonna be a little bit rough, right? I have a mic piece in my room, but I'm not using it right now because like I don't really want to. To be honest, guys, I had a pretty busy weekend. I got sunburned. If you guys notice, my chest is really red, looking like Larry the Lobster. But it is what it is. So, but yeah, guys, like this lifting channel is gonna be more towards like dealing, like, I want to represent like the schizophrenia freaking community, because like I suffer from schizophrenia, right? So, and it's manageable, right? But the only thing with a lot of people think it's just like, oh, you just hear and see things. That's part of it, but like what people don't understand is like, I know I shouldn't just jump into such a viewer sensitive topic such as schizophrenia, but a lot of people don't realize that it's very anxiety ridden, right? Severe anxiety is a very common symptom for schizophrenics, so this could lead to this could lead to a really massive paranoia. um it's awful. Like I think I really hope we eventually find a cure to it, because at least in my case, mine is more anxiety ridden. So like it literally prevents you from doing like basic tasks such as driving. I can't step foot in a vehicle because I'll start seeing things, and then I'll lose and then that sort of thing too. Concentration's a really big issue with schizophrenia, right? So me driving, even though I have a valid license, and the only reason I had a valid license is because schizophrenia usually doesn't happen till later in life, or at least the symptoms don't really progress till later in life. And right now I'm 20 years old, right? And I'll be 21 in a couple months, August 21st, right? So by definition, right, I'm following that pattern, and now I have manageable medication for it. But they're trying to get me a anxiety med for it, because like that's honestly a root cause of the schizophrenia. And there's so many pathways. Everybody's brain is wired differently. There's millions and hundreds of thousands, whatever. There's too many. There's too much. There's too many chemicals in the brain, right? And there's too many reactions in the brain, and everyone is different. Even a slight difference in reaction can throw you off. So psychology is very hard to like really learn and actually practice. So I don't know. This channel's gonna be, like I said, this channel's more towards people with psychosis, schizophrenia, right? Because those are what I have, and like I feel like there's not enough, there shouldn't be enough representation for it, because I would hate, this is like the worst fate someone could possibly suffer with mentally, right? Especially if you don't take your medication, then yikes. But I want to represent schizophrenia, like my schizophrenia community, because everybody in the lifting community seems to be pretty mentally stable. They don't have, like, what I mean by that, I mean, sure, there's body dysmorphia and like things like that, but Rich Piano's a little different. He suffered some pretty severe body dysmorphia. I mean, like, it was so bad. I mean, I was watching him in 2016. I'm like, man, this guy, it's never enough, He suffered the it's never enough dilemma, right? And this is what happens. But what I'm saying is, like, most people in the gym community that I at least researched don't have schizophrenia, right? Especially because everybody seems just, and also too, right, being neurodivergent and shit, right? It's just something that it makes life a lot harder. And that's why I never really understood a lot of things people do, like why, like, they work so hard to get women, when it's like, dude, like, and most of these people aren't virgins, right? So like, you really need, like, is it ever enough, right? I'm just saying, I'm not very articulate, so please excuse my manners. All right, I'm very jumpy, but I don't know. It's been a while since I've been on camera, so it's a little weird. But what I'm saying, guys, is like, it's important to represent, a community that you fall into. I'm not saying being labeled is important or nothing, but I'm saying like I feel like in the lifting space, I know people joke around like, oh, the voices told me to lift, and like, oh, the voices make me want to lift 1,000 pounds or some shit. Like, no, it's not funny. I never found it funny. I was like, this isn't funny. But oh well, I could go on and on about what is going on with the modern gym space, like why everybody uses a machine and not just regular barbell curl. Don't get me wrong, I used to be able to barbell curl 135 for 8, but that's the other thing I want to talk about is, alright, recently my dog just passed away right in my arms, so I've been, not lifting, not eating as much. I have been taking my vitamins and stuff to maintain just general health, because I don't know why, I just always found that super important, so at least I had that. I wasn't starving, but I was definitely not in my bulking state. I was in my maintenance phase. And right now I'm like 145, 146, most likely 146 right now. And I'm wearing like the shorts I'm wearing weigh like 0 grams. There's no weight in the pants, no weight in the shirt. So I'm like, a true 146 right now. And this is like in a starved state, so like when I eat and stuff, I'll be back. But also too, my glycogen stores are just depleted, so that's like 4 or 5 pounds right there. Yeah, guys. So I'm gonna be coming back. All right, this what do you call it? This series is gonna be Doomsday bulk to 225. All right, I want that 225. It's a big jump, I know, but that's my final goal. But right now, my current goal is 160. Never hit it in my life before. I reached 158. That was my highest, and that was still with like some bloat. You know what I mean? And yeah. Well, guys, what I just want to say is like, lifting should be about having fun, and if you want to make good progress, build strength. And if you're gonna stick with the same program, get stronger at each exercise. Like for example, if you're using a lot of machines, try and max out the machines and do them for working sets, right? It's the only way to build muscle, guys. Like, I mean, you can do other ways to like more eccentric stuff, but like, guys, don't be scared to load up the barbell, the dumbbells, you know what I mean? But at least try to have respectable form. Right now, I'm no fucking strongman right now, but eventually I want to get back into my strength phase. I want to get stronger again. So I'll do what I can, and yeah. So yeah, this is my intro video. I just wanted to introduce myself, just, I'm calling this channel Iron Grip because, that's my best attribute is grip strength. I got up to 185 on the dynamometer before, and that was at like 153 recently. Right now, I checked again this morning, it was like 164, 165, but that's also based on nervous system fatigue and testosterone levels, but I'm still in a very good spot. And I can do more in my body weight, so I'm pretty happy about that. I mean, it's not a big deal to me right now, but my biggest thing, guys, is just putting on weight. Alright, so that's just gonna be, like I said, the way I'm lifting right now. Very free weight based. As I pretty much lift free weights anyways. You don't see me really doing a lot of machines. Only if it's for the upper back. That's a different story. The upper back, I need to fatigue that first before I do my barbell rows, because it makes sense, because the lower back comes in. Now, you should have a strong lower back, but I'm just saying, if you want to, it's good to pre-exhaust certain muscles, if you're for compound movements. Like if you're trying to get a bigger quads, like you should do leg extensions before you squat, just so that like so that they fatigue as well, because people's glutes and hips and lower back can fatigue first before their quads. It's very common, especially the lower back. So I'm just, like I said, guys, there's ways to tweak things, ways to whatever. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say today, guys. Have fun, stay strong, and I'll see you next time. All right, peace.